Hey Narwhals, I'm your host Luke Narwhal, and today we'll be reading Overweight People of Reddit. What was the turning point that made you lose the weight? Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more weight loss stories. I watched a documentary on YouTube about an 800-pound teenager. Then I looked out the window and thought, hey, it's a really nice day, isn't it? I think I'll walk to the gym and finally join it like I've been meaning to do for the past month. I looked in the mirror one day and realized I actually looked a little pregnant. I realized people could actually start thinking I have a little baby belly growing. So I lost 50 pounds over the next few months. I'm now a comfortable 124 pounds at 5'5". I might be slightly happier at 120, but I'm in no rush. I'm just glad I don't look pregnant anymore. I was in the bath one day, took the plug out, water behind me didn't go down. Realized I was the human equivalent of the Hoover Dam, got out of the bath, looked in the mirror, and realized I hated myself in that moment. Lost 52 kilos, 114 pounds. The pain in my toenails. I was so heavy the weight was causing them to be ingrown and painful. I'm still not X, currently in progress. The turning point was when I realized I've been trying for 10 plus years. Addition to this, my partner joined the battle after we had a rough year. We both want change. What better way for us personally than together to lose some kilograms? It also helped that I gave up on caring so much of what others think. That has been a gigantic leap in my personal confidence, and I take life less seriously, which really has opened up on what matters most to me. Frig you 10 plus years. Your waste of time will be my strength. I was watching Star Wars The Force Awakens back in December for the first time in theaters. I was a size 24, which is the fattest I've ever been in my entire life. I was with friends similarly out of shape, all stuck in some sort of complacent life view, overweight, underemployed, and content to complain about it and not do anything to change it. And then Rey runs up the ramp to the Millennium Falcon, and she leaves her stuck sort of life on Jakku, and all I could think was, I could never do that. If I had a ticket out of this life, I couldn't take it, because I couldn't get up the space ramp. I realized how far from being able to be that person I was. I resolved then to lose the weight, to get in shape, to be ready if adventure comes my way. I went home and I wrote, "These are your first steps," on my mirror, and I promised myself to keep taking steps. I feel worlds better, I am worlds healthier, and I'm just starting this journey. I'm only down a size 12. I set the goal of being a size 4. Still, even only down 56 pounds, I'm no longer stuck shopping on the plus size section of the store. I can wear a large, a regular plain old large. I can run and skip and I can jump rope. I can adventure. And in so many ways, working out has gotten me off Jakku, away from the place where just drifting through was enough. It's made me try new things, meet new people. It's made me go out into that greater universe. A comment on Ask Reddit. I mean, I knew I was, technically am, just barely classified as overweight, but not by 75 pounds now, fat, and never really cared. Never made a huge attempt, never wanted to exercise or commit. But then a guy made a comment on a thread about simple things to improve appearance. He wrote quite a lengthy post about how simple weight loss can be, starting with your diet and simple little changes, and how weight loss itself can just simply be diet changes. He suggested MyFitnessPal. 3 days later, I downloaded MyFitnessPal, tracked everything, and I'm down to 165 today compared to 233.3 pounds I started at 302 days ago. Just little changes make a frig load of difference, my friends. I was at 240, now at 170. I'm 5'7", so not technically X overweight, but I lost a good chunk of weight. I was visiting my friend for summer, and during the day he had college classes. I was bored out of my head and decided I could try biking and just see how much I could tolerate, and mostly out of boredom. I just wanted to feel what extreme heart rate and being exhausted was like. I had minorly exercised, but I was just curious. I cycled and maxed out for about 2 hours. The next day, I could hardly sit. I did this for about 2 weeks and lost 15 pounds. I didn't even think about the weight at all. I just weighed to see what I was. I was like, wait, losing weight, it's like a thing I can do? Because when you're fat long enough, it seems like you're a different species. People are skinny and fat. If you're fat, you're doomed to be subclass or something. I went into my closet, grabbed my fattest pair of pants, and then I couldn't fit in them. I was 60 pounds heavier than I was when I graduated from high school. I hated being so frigging fat, so I started dieting and exercising. As of today, I'm thin and healthy. I'm still in the process of losing weight. However, I've never been super overweight. I'm 6'2" and the heaviest I've ever been is 230 pounds. I was with the girl one night and she said she liked how she didn't have to worry about other girls flirting with me. When I worked out and weighed 180, I'd always have girls coming up to me. I decided I wanted to get back to that. And now I'm at 205 and hoping to be down to 180 by March. We'll see if it's that noticeable of a difference once I hit my goal weight. Then boyfriend's ex-girlfriend subtweeted and called me hefty. There's a lot of people saying we shouldn't shame people for their weight, and a lot of me agrees because her words were hurtful. But they also motivated me to lose 35 pounds and still going and become healthy. So maybe there are some benefits to being honest with people about their size. After my wife had our third child, I realized that there was so much I couldn't do without getting winded, or so many things that I would tell my kids in a little bit, or not right now, in hopes that they would just forget and I could continue being lazy. I don't remember an exact moment or day, but just one day I realized that I wasn't fulfilling 100% of my parental duties. Yes, there's parents that are overweight and aren't lazy, but I was, and it needed to change. I love being able to run around with my children and be an active parent. I still have lazy days or moments, usually if it's been extremely tiring at work, but I don't let that happen often, mainly so that I don't get back into a routine of being fat and lazy. It was a combination of a few things: hating the way I looked, realizing I had wasted all my 20s being fat and ugly, and that being in my early 30s meant I had very little youth left, finally realizing that being fat on the dating scene was only scoring me fat women who enabled my bad eating and workout habits. The final catalyst, though, was moving to Rhode Island, the first place I had lived in 12 years that has a real winter, and seeing what few good exercise habits I did have, all of which involved going outside, go out the window during my first winter here. I don't know how much I weighed, but I know I hit the fattest I had ever been during that time, and while I burned out that excess weight once spring rolled around, I decided I did not want to go through that again. I'm now down nearly 90 pounds, and while I'm not at my goal weight yet, I have about another 25 pounds to go. The difference in everything from my appearance to my energy level has been astounding. I don't want to ever go back to being fat. Lost around 90 pounds since January of 2012. I started to level out around mid-2014 and have essentially been maintaining and toning since. Went from 270 to around 180, probably lost more, but gained muscle in the process, so whatever. Anyway, my turning point was a broken heart. Always been on the heavier side and felt ugly. A girl I was really into gave me the friend speech. My friend suggested that I lose weight to essentially snap out of my depression. Exercise releases endorphins and all that jazz. After about 2 months, it just became part of my routine and I kept working out and cut bad stuff out of my diet, and boom. I went on a trip to Tanzania, and seeing people that have almost nothing, just the basics to eat, no running water, etc., and yet were genuinely some of the happiest people I've ever met, made me realize how stupid my self-pity was and how my situation was entirely my fault. Also, how entitled it was to basically complain about having too much food. I got a Fitbit for my birthday last winter and discovered calorie tracking. I didn't really make an active decision to lose weight at the time. I was just like, a shiny new gadget. Huh? You can look up foods and it will tell you how many more calories you can eat for the day? Cool. I'm down 45 pounds, still technically overweight, need to lose another 15, and in the smallest clothing size I've worn in 10 years. I've done very little extra exercise besides walking from the train to my office. It's all been calorie tracking. Only a month or two shy of my 18th birthday, I went and got a checkup at the pediatrician for the last time. High school was a pretty rough time for me emotionally, and with that came a steady weight gain due to a lack of care for myself. Before going to the doctor, I knew I was heavy, but didn't realize how much I had gained, on average 10 pounds per year, so I started at 155 pounds and ended up at 198 pounds, and didn't realize just how overweight I was. I'm 5'10". The pediatrician was the first doctor to bluntly explain to me that I was overweight and that it wouldn't stop unless I changed. Now I'm at 164 pounds 1.5 years later, and I actually want to thank that doctor. When she first told me, I cried and felt so slighted for a while, but in reality, her tough love helped me. And that brings us to the future narwhals of the day. Join our Reddit community if you haven't for a chance to be a future narwhal and also for a chance to win some free narwhal merch. All you need is the Reddit app and a free account. The link to join is below. Our first future narwhal of the day is Emerald Faster, and they say, starting weight 195, current weight 149, slowly but surely getting healthier, 8 months. Our next featured narwhal of the day is Ear the Gun, and they say male 19, 5'10", starting weight 335 pounds, and current weight 233 pounds, goal weight 180 pounds, 100 down in 10 months, a mixture of Seco, intermittent fasting, and walking 3 miles a day. This subreddit and YouTube channel have helped me continue to work towards my goal, even if I have to rewatch the same video 100 times so I won't cheat. And our last featured narwhal of the day is Al Poppy Breezy, and they say male, 5'10", starting weight 275, current weight 231.7. As of this morning, personal goal weight is 220, actual goal for boxing 170 to 180. Thanks for sharing featured narwhals. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more weight loss videos. Thanks for watching narwhals, and I'll see you in the next one.